Okay, isipin nyo to. Kung may dalawang magkaibang department na nagre-report ng eksaktong same defect rate, ibig sabihin ba nun pareho silang magaling? Well, pag-isipan natin ng mabuti. Dahil minsan, ang mga numero sa dashboard natin, they're actually telling a completely false story.
So imagine kayo ang CEO ng isang malaking kumpanya. Meron kayong dalawang divisions. Yung isa gumagawa ng simpleng whiteboard markers, tapos yung isa naman high-end notebook PCs. Tapos sa report nila, both divisions are operating at 2 defects per unit or 2 DPU. Sa paningin ng isang executive na mabilis ang tumitingin lang sa surface-level metrics sa dashboard, pantay lang ang performance nila, di ba? But as yellow belts, let me ask you directly, pareho nga ba talaga ang level of quality ng dalawang to? The short answer is, absolutely not. Walang way na pareho sila at hihimayin natin yung operational logic kung bakit.
Defining defect opportunities. Dahil the truth is, complexity completely changes the game.
Para mag-gets natin ang tunay na kwento, kailangan nating pag-usapan yung concept ng defect opportunities. Basically, yung process complexity ang nagdidikta kung gaano karaming bagay ang pwedeng pumalpak. Let's break it down sa mismong operations floor natin. Ilang bagay ba talaga ang pwedeng magkamali sa isang simpleng marker? Siguro mga 5 lang. Pwedeng mag-leak yung ink, hindi lapat yung takip, mali yung kulay ng tinta, basic issues. Yan yung tinatawag nating defect opportunities, mga chances para magkaroon ng mali. Ngayon, tingnan natin yung notebook PC. Sobrang complex nito, right? Parang kinukompare mo yung simpleng one-piece chicken order sa Jollibee versus isang complex BPO tech support ticket kung saan kailangan mong mag-troubleshoot ng router, line sync at account billing all at the same time. Sa dami ng tiny components at software functions ng isang laptop, the defect opportunities are massively higher. So, for the sake of our illustration, let's say a laptop has around 1,000 defect opportunities per unit. Ilatag natin yung baseline maths para makita ninyo kung bakit yung paggamit ng simpleng DPU is honestly highly misleading. Let's assume na both divisions produced 1,000 units each. Dahil pareho silang may 2 defects per unit on average, that literally means pareho silang nakagenerate ng exactly 2,000 total defects sa buong production run nila. Kapag dinitingnan mo yung raw numbers na yan, it looks completely tied. Patas lang yung dami ng palpak, di ba? Pero wait lang, hindi dyan natatapos ang trabaho natin sa process improvement. Para makuha yung totoong quality rate, gagamitin natin ang mas accurate na metric, ang defects per opportunity o DPO. Ang logic dito is actually very straightforward. You take the total defects, tapos i-divide mo by the actual number of chances for a defect to happen. Hindi kasi sapat na bilangin lang natin yung mga naging palpak na unit. Kailangan nating i-consider kung ilang beses silang may chance na pumalpak in the first place. Based on how complex the product is.
Let's calculate the marker division's DPO step by step. Yung numerator natin, that's the total defects, which is 2,000. Tapos, ang denominator natin ay ang total opportunities. So that's 5 opportunities per unit multiplied by 1,000 units produced, giving us exactly 5,000 total opportunities para magkamali. Now, kapag dinivide natin ang 2,000 by 5,000, we get 0.4 defects per opportunity. Guys, pakinggan yung mabuti kung ano ang ibig sabihin niyan sa operations. Sa isang napakasimpleng produkto, halos kalahati ng pagkakataon na pwede silang magkamali, nagkakamali nga sila. That is a shockingly high failure rate para sa isang very basic process.
Ngayon, i-compute naman natin yung sa PC division gamit yung same logic. Meron tayong same 2,000 total defects pero ang denominator nila ay 1,000 opportunities per unit times 1,000 units produced. That yields exactly 1 million total opportunities. That's a lot. So when we divide the 2,000 defects by 1 million opportunities, we get 0.002 defects per opportunity. Napakaliit. Dahil sobrang daming opportunities for failure sa pag-assemble ng isang complex machine, that massive denominator drastically lowers the defect per opportunity rate.
So this brings us to converting to DPMO. Ito yung tinatawag nating ultimate equalizer.
Okay, maganda na sana yung DPO natin kasi nakita na natin yung totoong defect rate. Kaso, masyadong maraming decimals, right? Mahirap siyang i-communicate sa management. Dito napapasok ang DPMO, defects per million opportunities. Ang formula niya is super simple. You literally just take your DPO result and multiply it by 1 million. Bakit 1 million? Well, it standardizes the metric. Tinatanggal natin yung mga nakakalitong tiny decimals, kaya we can communicate whole numbers. It basically allows us to compare apples to oranges nang walang bias. Kahit gaano kasimple o ka-complex ang isang proseso, once it's in DPMO, nasa iisang playing field na sila.
So, ibalik natin yung DPO ng marker na 0.4 kanina, tapos i-multiply natin sa 1 million. The result? 400,000 DPMO. Isipin niyo yung operational impact nito. Sa bawat 1 milyong pagkakataon na pwedeng magkamali yung marker division sa linya nila, pumapalpak sila ng 400,000 times. That is basically a 40% failure rate sa mga processes nila na nakatago lang sa likod ng simpleng 2DPU na reporting dashboard. I mean, kung nangyayari ito sa totoong planta ninyo ngayon, for sure, sandamakmak na returns, reworks, at customer complaints ang sinasalo ninyo araw-araw. This is quite frankly a disastrous quality level.
Now, let's contrast that with the notebook PCs. Ang DPMO nila kanina ay 0.002. If we multiply that by 1 million, we get just 2,000 DPMO. So for every 1 million chances na magkamali sa pagbuo ng isang sobrang complex na laptop, 2,000 times lang silang nagkaka-defect. This clearly highlights the true high performance ng PC division natin. Despite having the exact same DPMO as the marker division, the PC team is actually running an incredibly tight and well-managed operation.
Tingnan natin ngayon ng buo yung data natin. Remember kanina, mislead yung CEO natin. Tiningnan niya lang yung top row na metric 2 DPU for markers, 2 DPU for PCs, at inisip niyang equal lang yung quality ng production. Pero the moment na in-account natin yung process complexity through opportunities, bam! The true operational reality comes out. Ang marker division is actually struggling at 400,000 DPMO, while the complex PC division is outperforming them massively at just 2,000 DPMO. The CEO can now clearly see na ang PC division is performing at a much higher level of quality. At honestly, imposible nating ma-arrive sa conclusion na ito kung nag-rely lang tayo sa defects per unit.
Kaya bilang mga Lean Six Sigma practitioners, we always rely on the DPMO advantage. DPMO is the only accurate way para ma-compare natin ng kalidad across completely diverse operations. Kung ikaw ay nasa logistics at gusto mong i-compare yung error rate ng isang simple point-to-point delivery process versus a highly complex multi-hub route, or let's say nasa LTO ka, and you're comparing the process of printing a simple receipt versus a full vehicle registration, you cannot use basic defect rates. DPMO accounts for complexity and it levels the playing field. It doesn't punish complex processes for being complex at hindi rin ito hinahayaang magtago ang mga simple processes sa inefficiencies nila.